Hello and welcome to the initial order tutorial in eBudde. We're going to go through everything that you need to do to submit your initial order. I'm going to try and leave out every date possible. You might see a few, but I'd like to be able to use this for next year so we can get it out to you guys a little bit quicker. But we're going to just go through each of those steps by starting with the Girls tab. First thing we want to do is make sure all of our girls are actually listed in eBudde before we submit our initial order. If a girl isn't listed, you will be able to add them in starting right after the initial, after the order card sales have stopped. It will open up that you'd be able to add any extra girls that you need. You just add their first name, last name, and if you know their GSUSA ID number, you can just click the little, or you can add it in there, or you can click the add a temp ID and you'd get one that looks like this. Add their grade. You won't be able to mark them registered, but you could add a sales goal, and just make sure you click update when you're done. After you've updated all of your girls, you'll click on the initial order to see what that looks like. To add a girl's order, you'd simply click her name and add them in here. But before we do that, we need to do a little bit of prep. A couple of things that we want to make sure you've done ahead of time is collected the order cards, and hopefully you've told the parents that are selling online that if they have girl delivery, they need to actually add those girl delivery boxes, ones that the girl will actually go out and physically deliver to their customers even though they ordered them online. And that helps them to save on shipping. If they've done that, the money has been collected online, but we actually need the physical boxes to be ordered, and if we want them to count for the initial order, they do need to be ordered now. What they should have been doing every time they got one of those and accepted it is they actually put the order on their order card, and it would look a little bit like this. So you'd have your normal orders. So I had one from Grandma, Aunt Lucy, and then I had a DOC, digital order card order. So this is one that came in online, and I put it on my order card. So if I was doing it every single time I went onto my computer and I said I had a girl delivery and I accepted it, what would happen is I would then just automatically put that on my order card so that I didn't forget it. I would know that it got paid online, but that I needed to actually physically deliver those again at a later date. After the initial order is filled, once I have my cookies, I'd go back to that person just like I would Grandma or Aunt Lucy or anybody else and deliver those boxes of cookies. I just got paid online versus cash or check. That's the only difference here. Let's just say that that doesn't happen. In a perfect world, this is how we'd have every girl do it so that those boxes count towards her initial order boxes, and if she was close to that 250 mark, she'd be able to hit it. But if that didn't happen, the girls didn't place it, the troop leader can then go back into eBudde, go to the reports tab, select this middle DOC orders by girl. I'd click that, it would run the report, it would download right there, I'd click, and then it should pop up with something that looks an awful lot like this. And I'd see my girl 1, girl 2, girl 3 listed, however many sales they had. The ones that we're worried about are not the shipped and not the donated, but the actual delivered, which is called girl delivery. So if it says delivered, these are the ones that I actually want to add to my order card. So I would have the order here. I'd see that it was 4 Thin Mints and 1 s'more for a total of $21. So 4 times 4 is 16 plus 5 should equal $21. And so I would pop over to my order card, and I would make sure that that all matches. I had 4 Thin Mints, 1 s'more for a total of $21 that was paid. So I did add that one here. That's how you'd want to do it. If the girl tells you she did not add any of her online sales, then you would add any of the girl delivery. Once again, that report says delivered, but it actually means girl delivery. If it's shipped, you don't worry about it. It's already in eBudde. The boxes are already added. The girl's already getting credit for her initial order. You don't have to think about it or do anything about it. If it's a mix between delivered and donated, you do not have to worry about the one box that was donated, but you do need to worry about the 4 over here that weren't. So those would still need to be added. The donated box if there's 10 of them, you completely forget those. The only boxes that need to be ordered are the ones that are from here to here, which would be the 2 Samoas, or sorry, not the shipped one. So if you needed to, you could take those out, but it would be just the 1 Samoa, 1 tag along, because those are being on there. Again, none of these ones, so 4 plus 2 would be the 6 that we need, and then the 1 s'more. And that's how that would add up for what you actually need to put on order cards for the girls to be able to get credit for them. Once again, we'd look at the order card. One last check. And I always highly recommend that you tell parents to actually be adding the totals up. You should not be there doing this at 11:59 on Wednesday night trying to add all this up to put these orders in. Each parent should be responsible for their own daughter's sales and be able to add all the different varieties up so that you have them, and then add up the total so that they know they're getting 18 boxes and it costs $72 to fill all those orders. That's the money that the parents should be turning in to the troop leader. Hopefully you're collecting up front, so that makes that process a whole lot easier. So then we go back to our initial order, and we'd pick our girl 1. That's whose order we were looking at. And so she had 1 Savannah Smile, 1 Trefoil, 2 Do-Si-Dos, only 2 Samoas. Let's go back and check real quick. Another 2, and it should be in the same order. Oh, she had a donated. That's why this is off a little bit. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 4, 3, 1. 1, 4, 3, 1. And you can just use the tab button. I'm just clicking. Then you'd have to decide whether or not you're participating in the Cookies from the Heart. And once again, because that one of those boxes, I believe, was a true donated box, and we're participating in the Cookies from the Heart, but it could just as easily be a gift of caring, which means that the troop is doing it however they want. So you decide which donation program you are using. You will notice that there's a GG column. It is locked on there. It shouldn't be. That's the goal getter. Technically, there should be no goal getter sales if it's on there. If it's not on there for any other time, then don't worry about it. But GG is for goal getter, not for any of the 2 donation programs. So it really shouldn't be on this page at all. And then I'd simply click OK to add that order, and then I would say save. Once I save, you can make continual changes. So if I wanted to add this one's order in here, let's just say she was rocking the cell. Getting close to some of those numbers, and then if we had one that was really pushing the envelope here, let's change it to like that, and maybe like that, and so we'd see that this, once it's added in there, would automatically trigger at 250 boxes that they would earn their initial reward, and you'd be able to submit for that. And it is only 1 reward, so it will automatically submit whether or not you actually go to the rewards afterwards and do that. You could click save and it would do it. The next step is not only all the orders that you're placing for the girls, but you need to place what you actually want for your others in booth. And we have a couple of tools to help you do that. For others, you can consider that exactly the same as booth. They both do the same thing. It's just extras that you're ordered. Sometimes people like to have 2 separate ones. One that other is considered the goal getter, that they're kind of prepping and planning for that. And I'll show you how to estimate your goal getters, but also how to estimate your booths. And we always say only order for your first weekend of booths. And we do have a little calculator that'll show you the variety and the mix that you should be ordering. So if you click, if you download this from our website, we'd have the 2017 booth sale cookie variety calculator. what you want to simply do is put in the number of boxes that you actually think you'll do for your first weekend. So we're going to have a pretty busy weekend. We've already signed up for 2 in the first. We plan on getting at least 3 or 4 more. So maybe we would have 5 total that first weekend, and it's going to automatically calculate how many you need for that first weekend of booths. I don't think you should go too much more than your first weekend, because if there's bad weather or if something else happens, you never know which booth spots you're going to get. But it'll split it up by variety. So you need 150 Thin Mints and Samoas, 60 Tagalongs, 30, 30, 30, 30, and then 15 of the Toffee-tastic. And once again, these are estimates. You are responsible for whatever you end up placing. But this is our council average, and it's really hard to go wrong with ordering too many Thin Mints and Samoas. Tagalongs are about, are right up, are pretty high, but there's those 3 chocolate varieties are what's going to be about 75% of your sales. So don't be afraid to order up on those and then play it by ear on these other varieties. You can always do a booth sale with these ones, but you know, people will keep buying no matter what. If girls are out there selling cookies, someone's going to buy them. S'mores is a complete estimate. We're expecting it to do about as well as the Do-Si-Dos, Trefoils, and Savannah Smiles, and better than the gluten-free Toffee-tastic, but it is still just an estimate. So, and we'll show you shortly how you can place your s'mores and Toffee-tastic order in just a minute. So that's how you'd guess. For your goal getters, if you're participating in goal getters, we say estimate at about 1 booth for every 3 girls. So if you have 10 girls, you might estimate 3 booths for your goal getters, and that gives you kind of a rough number of what else to add on there. So maybe another 300 boxes. So if I had 300 boxes and I had my 5 booths that we were doing, we would have a total of 8. And so I'd want to order the 240. I can either order it by case or, well, in the initial order you have to order by box. So you might want to quickly jot those numbers down if you don't have 2 screens, so you don't have to keep going back and forth. So I'd have 240, roughly 100, another 240, 48, 48, 48, 48, and 24. So those are my estimations on what I think I'm going to do for my booth sales. And really it's probably a little bit less because I actually have only 3 girls, but let's just pretend I have my 10 girls, and so I took a guess on what they'd sell in goal getters. So for my others, I might put in 1 part, or I can just order it all in one big lump sum, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to guess my 240 for Samoas, 240 for my Thin Mints, 100, even though that was a little bit different than what I saw on there. I guess I could do 96 to make it an even case number, but I'll show you here down at the bottom with the extras why that sometimes doesn't work out. And you'll see for extras, it doesn't allow me to order extras for the Gift of Caring and Cookies from the Heart, and that's because those aren't in the Cookies from the Heart. You'll never actually order those. Gift of Caring doesn't actually add it to your order. It just adds up and gives credit to the girl. So even though you're placing them during the initial order, it doesn't actually add up as extra boxes that you're going to be ordering. So you don't really have to pay too much attention, but I'll show you how that works. S'mores and Toffee-tastic. Here's the big question. We have decided just to allow you to order what you think you need for your first weekend of booths. If you want to order what you placed on your order card, that's fine. We are just going to allow troops to order, or if you pre-ordered in September, then you can place that on there. Otherwise, order what you think you need for your first weekend of booths. So once again, I was going to need about 30, maybe 40, I guess it was 48 is what it ended up being on all of these. So let me change all those to 48, and then I would change that to 48, or nope, sorry, 24, and this one to 48 because I only want about half as much. So that's for my first weekend of booths and my goal getters. We are just going to open it up. If you want to order what you placed on your order card, your pre-sales, go ahead and just order that. And you can order it up front, but otherwise order for what you need for your first weekend of booths. If we see that those numbers are incompatible with what we placed as a council, we will start pulling back on it. But right now I think we're going to be just fine. We'll have enough in the cupboards to still fill orders afterwards. But then we're going to click OK. Now, the big secret here is not a secret, but thing to be aware of is right now this is all in boxes, but what it's doing is converting it to cases, and it always rounds up. It will always round up because it needs to make sure it can fill that next even just one box. So if you had 85 boxes, so if I added even just one box here to 49, it's actually going to order me a whole nother case. So it's going to round up a case, and I'm going to have 11 extras than what I thought I was ordering up here. So if I don't want 11, any of these 11, 11, 10, 9, those are pretty high numbers where I may just want to consider, instead of doing a full 48, I might consider doing 47, because I don't actually want a full extra case of trefoils. I just wanted the 4 that I wanted for booths and maybe -1. So really I'm getting 3 cases and 11 boxes. So then I'd say okay on that. And that equals 0. It doesn't have to equal 0. It's just so that I know exactly how many cases I'm getting of each. Same with the do-si-dos. Maybe I don't want a full, that's almost a whole extra case than I think I'm ordering it. So I need to subtract 2 boxes, and then it would lower my entire case amount. But then I'm at 7, 8, and 6. It's just up to you on what you want to do. You can either not try and round these down or up, or just leave them how they are. These varieties here, you can see you're getting just a few extra. Not a big deal. Same with these ones. These are kind of that in-between number where can you sell another 9 Samoas? Probably not a big deal. Same with tagalongs. Can you sell another 8 tagalongs? Probably going to be fine. Watch it for these varieties and Toffee-tastic that you're not accidentally ordering a whole extra case. So even if I change this to take the 1 off and I made it 23, you're going to notice that it doesn't make a huge, oh sorry, I can round up, but I'd have to take off a full case or close to a case to make it round down to make it work. So I'd have to decide, would I rather have 1 extra box, or where do I actually want to be? So just play those numbers really based on how you feel like the sale is going to go. And then you'd click OK. You'd have all your changes made, and then you would click Submit Order. Once you submit your order, it'll open up for the delivery tab. It's not going to do any of that now because, unfortunately, it's all kind of in just pre-mode right now. And so if you submit your order, then you're locked and you can't make any changes. So you really do want to wait to submit until Wednesday. Even if you think you're all done on Sunday night, you've got all the numbers in, you feel really good about it, I would still wait, because you never know if a couple extra orders are going to come in to bump a girl up to the 250 online. So anything before you submit is still going to add in there. So I would just leave it for now, and that way you make sure you know exactly what the girls are going to do. But that is very quickly how you would actually place your initial order. Some of the tools that are available, those will all be online, so you can go to our website and be able to pull those off of there. If you have any questions, make sure you do contact cookies@girlscouts-ssc.org, and they'd be able to answer any questions that you have and help walk you through some of these steps if it gets a little bit confusing. Thanks, everybody.